all change starts with a human will to do something.
En Israel no existe el permiso de paternidad y el único permiso que existe de cuidado para los bebés después del nacimiento o adopción es un permiso de maternidad de 14 semanas pagado al 100% del salario. Cuando hace 2 años y medio por primera vez escuchamos sobre la PPiiNA en un congreso en Bilbao sobre presupuestos de género, supimos que era algo que nosotras queríamos incorporar y importar a Israel también, y sabíamos de la necesidad de crear una red como la PLENT. Por eso para nosotros es tan importante, porque esta idea que estamos llevando a Israel no es una idea nuestra única, sino que tenemos una plataforma que nos apoya y con la que podemos compartir información y experiencia.
La gran mayoría de las personas españolas contestan que su familia ideal es la familia igualitaria. Es la familia donde hombres y mujeres, los 2 miembros de la pareja, trabajan igualmente en el mercado de trabajo e igualmente en casa. Pero ¿qué pasa? Que contra esa opinión mayoritaria, los padres ahora solo pueden colaborar durante 2 semanas en la situación de emergencia familiar. Pero es que, aunque fueran 4 semanas es una cuota masculina, por eso hemos llamado a estas jornadas de las cuotas masculinas a la paridad en el cuidado, porque 4 semanas es una cuota ridícula de un 20% sobre las 20 semanas en total.
¿Y qué pasa con lo transferible? Con eso que realmente, si ellos quisieran y fueran buen rollo, podrían utilizar. Pues lo que se demuestra es que quien lo utiliza son las mujeres, porque la costumbre de uso ha generado la percepción y la práctica de que el permiso transferible es una ampliación del permiso de maternidad. Y entonces, ¿qué es lo que tenemos? Pues que si en Islandia un 90% de hombres están utilizando su parte intransferible, apenas un 17% utiliza algo de lo transferible. Si en Suecia tenemos un 80% de hombres utilizando lo intransferible, apenas un 18% utilizan esa parte conjunta. Si en España tenemos un 80% de los hombres utilizando su permiso de paternidad intransferible, no llega ni a un 2% de los hombres que utilizan algo de lo transferible. Las conclusiones yo creo que son evidentes. Los permisos transferibles suponen más tiempo para las mujeres en el cuidado infantil, más tiempo de ausencia de las mujeres de sus puestos de trabajo, mayor percepción de riesgo a la hora de contratarlas, de cara por parte del empresariado, que no ve más allá que de esas cuestiones, y una clara discriminación por incumplimiento del principio de tratamiento igualitario en el caso de este derecho laboral. Por la contra, ¿qué es lo que garantizan los permisos intransferibles e iguales y bien remunerados, obviamente? Garantizan que haya más hombres participando del cuidado ante un nacimiento o adopción, que haya más hombres que se ausenten de su puesto de trabajo para participar en el cuidado y, por lo tanto, que la percepción de riesgo a la hora de contratar a mujeres se reduzca.
So the single most important thing, that is to share the parental leave equal. It means 7% difference in the wages for women. So you cannot have equal pay if you don't share parental leave. And in the European Union, we've had the big campaign, I think you've seen it, about equal pay. And then I wrote to them and said, well, I'm for equal pay, but you will not have that if you don't have equal and non-transferable parental leave. Someone said here, you have to start in the family. I think you can start in the state and demand reforms. I mean, because I think it's a difficulty. If you say we have to start in the family, then what will start in the family? What are the arguments? I think you should start in the state with strict reforms, with principles based on equal citizenship, democracy, efficiency, demography, and all these things.
The reason why I think PLENT is an interesting opportunity for us to move forward is that I think that much of the basis of the crisis in Europe, particularly the fertility crisis, has to do with the fact that we have not taken gender equality seriously. And without doing that, we won't solve that crisis. We are heading for collective suicide. Also, if we look at the labor market, then it's perfectly clear that an equally shared parental leave is a necessary precondition for equality there, for equal pay on the labor market. I doubt that it is a sufficient condition, but it is an absolutely necessary condition.
The arguments can be very pragmatic. It can be about demography, birth rates, education and production. It can be about economic efficiency. It can be about innovations. It can be about having strong families. You know, if you have unemployment, it's better if you have two wages. If one is unemployed, you still have one. These are pragmatic, and they are true.
The whole problem, of course, is from the political structures and the power structures. It's not on the individual level, really. It's a structural problem. Well, I would like to say that PLENT is what we need to go forward. It's not the only solution, but it's a really, really, really central and important part of changing this whole problem. Non-transferable equal parental leave, fully paid. If we can get that policy into place, it will change so many things in other areas of society, and both men and women and children need it. Everybody needs it, so we just need to get that message out and explain how it works.
Introducing the 1 week paternity leave. So as it was supported by the feminist and the women groups. It was the campaign was led by one of the the biggest journals in Poland, and suddenly it turned out that Polish men are interested.
Men can change, and this is something that we need to bring up. Masculinity is flexible. It's something that can change and be altered. And we have so much evidence today that men can do care work. Sometimes, we'll run into these notions of gender that it has to be a woman. It's so tied to our ideas of femininity and womanhood that we kind of think that men can't do it. But yes, men can do it. We have so many stories, so much evidence. And I'm a living example. I've changed diapers, taken care of the home, taking care of a baby that needs support because it's been crying. I've done everything. And my baby girl, who's now 7 years old, seems to be just fine.
Yo aprendí, aparte de disfrutar un montón, lo que yo aprendí de estar a las 8 de la tarde totalmente agotado. Lo único que podía hacer es estar tumbado en el sofá esperando poder dormir un poquito. Ese tipo de sensación que tienes de aprender lo duro realmente que es el trabajo es parte también de lo que significa ser padre. Y entender también lo que igual antes del permiso de paternidad no entendía, que es lo que comentaba antes Gertrude, de las conversaciones de cuando mi mujer llegaba a casa y decía, ha estado en una reunión súper importante y ha pasado esto, yo le comentaba, pues yo le he preparado un puré de verduras y no se lo ha comido.
Sometimes people say, well, you see, this is not the right moment to start. And then I say, well, when is the right moment to start? If this is not the right moment, then when is it? So I come to the conclusion that it is always the right time to start. Other question I always get is, who can do that? someone else must do that. So who is the right person? Who are the right persons to do it? If we are not the right persons, then who are then? So I think we should say we are the right persons to do it. Don't you agree? Yeah. So this is the time to start. This is the best time to start, and we are the best ones to do it. Don't you think so?
The social dialogue has begun to change, and that will help, but only up to a point. We need laws to speed up the development, and that's why I'm all for PLENT.
You should feel that when you work for gender equality, you are in the core of understanding democracy. You are in the core of understanding equal citizenship. And that is citizenship. That is the contract between the state and the individual. So we are in the core of politics.
¿Estarías a favor de una directiva europea por permisos iguales, intransferibles y pagados al 100%? ¿No?
Well, that's utopia. And I'm for utopia.
There is so much evidence, and I think this is part of what PLENT needs to do. We need to build the argument base, and we need to build the evidence base. After this, we need to do another thing. We need to start to build the movement. I want all of you to be part of PLENT. And I want all of you to go home and recruit 5 more people. And if you're in an organization, I want you to go to the board of that organization and tell them, be part of PLENT. Because we are part of PLENT, and we're gonna do that in our countries, and we're gonna build this to a global movement. Yes? This is what we need. Thank you.